I was almost kidnapped. I was almost stolen. And then I had some mamas and it didn't really feel like my dad's voice. What is the moral of the story? Mwache kulala. Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. So I know this looks familiar, so let me tell you something. Let me tell you what has just happened. As I was about to close my ring light and just remove my phone and do some other stuff, I remembered a story time. Na nikaona, because I was doing this, because I was shooting already, there's no need of me starting to change, mara start looking a little different. So I just decided, before niamke hapa, I should just film it and tell you guys this story time. Yeah, so that is why we're back again. I think a day after the previous one. I don't know when you guys will see this, but it is going to be pretty soon after the previous one. That I'm very sure. So I am giving you a story time. It's going to be a very short story time, actually. A very short one, dude. It's not like a big thing that happened. It's just I was almost kidnapped. I was almost stolen. Before we get to that story time, please subscribe. Please. Aki, please. Yani, nimenyenyekea.
Now please subscribe, like this video, and leave a comment as well. And please remember to share it with your friends as well as mkimaliza kusikiza story yangu.
So yeah, let's jump right into the story time. What am I doing? Okay. Story. Semeni story come. Ebu sema story come. Oh, nilikuwa nadhani unasema story come. Anyway, so my story is about something that happened between form 1, when I was in form 1 or class 8, that period, because I was still small. Nilikuwa bado mdogo. Yeah, and sasa what happened was we had traveled to upcountry. We had traveled to Ushago. Tulikuwa tumeenda Ushago. So as we went, we had traveled, my mom, my dad, my small brother, and I. We stayed there for maybe a week, or maybe 5 days, or maybe even 3 days. I'm not so sure, but we never go longer than a week. So let's just say a week. We had gone there for a week. So it was time to come back to Nairobi. Ilikuwa time ya kurudi, because I think I had to go back to school. I don't know. I think it was either between December. It was either between December or August, but I think it was December because I had to go back to school. Yeah, I think it was from 1 December. So what happened was, at that time, my dad had to come back to Nairobi mapema because I guess he had to go back to work and he was sort of late. What happened was, we couldn't go. Satungeenda si wote pamoja because my mom had to go somewhere else. And my brother is a mama's boy, so my brother opted to stay with my mom. And me being a daddy's girl, I opted to come back with my dad. And it happens that my dad loves traveling during the night because hakuna traffic, hakuna mambo mob. He just enjoys driving during the night. So what happened is, when he was planning to come back, me thought it was going to be around hapo tutaanza kutravel hapo kitu around 5 6 hapo. No, we were leaving Meru around 8, if not 8, 7, 8ish, there around that time. So because it was during the night, I had nothing else to do. Mi nikasema I am just going to sleep because that is what I love doing. I mean, yeah, I was just like, I am going to sleep through this whole journey. Just there's nothing else I can give him. There's nothing else I can like try, because by then I didn't know how to drive. I still don't know right now. Najua basics, but I still don't know how to drive anyway. So I opted to sleep. Sasa the best place to sleep is obviously the back seat. Juu siwezi kaa kwa driver na bado nilale vizuri. Okay, I can, but I won't be comfortable, and there's nothing else. There's no other passenger in the car, so I have the whole back seat to myself. If I want to shift to the co-driver, I can also do that. But sasa nikasema nitalala kwa back seat. Si mimi tukaingia kwa gari na nikajiseti mahali pangu. I actually think I had a kashuka. And I slept. I decided to sleep and I slept, as in Yeah, I did sleep almost the entire journey. So I guess somewhere along the journey, my dad got a headache. So see, he had to stop and get a painkiller, maybe water, so that he can continue the journey. So we got to a place there. Sijui kama ni around Moya ama ni around wapi. Mahali tu, we got to a place there. And my dad saw sort of a petrol station, ama just a shop, ama super, misikumbuki vizuri, but he just went somewhere and stopped the car, akatoka, akaenda kuingia because I guess that place was still open. I guess petrol station ndo zinakuanga open like 24 hours most of the time. So he got out. So my dad did something wrong. Because I was in the car na anajua niko, he didn't lock the car. He just got out. He took his keys with him and he got out. He went to get his painkillers and his energy drinks. My dad loves a lot of energy drinks, so he went and got the painkillers and the energy drinks. So as he was gone, so I was still asleep. Mi bado nimelala. Mi hadi sijui tumesimama, sijui kwenye tuko. As in I'm still asleep. As in hadi sikusikia gari ikisimama, I'm still asleep. And I am one person who doesn't wake up no matter what, unless you physically touch me. If you think about calling my name kuniamsha, I don't want to say that I won't wake up, but I won't wake up. When I sleep, I'm dead. There's a time actually my dad used to make fun of me that someone could steal me and take me to Mombasa and back and I would still not feel a thing. Okay, that was exaggerated of course, but you get the point. Mi ukisema unaniita, I won't wake up. You have to physically touch me. Nisikie, nimeguzwa, ndo niamke, you know. So when my dad left, he didn't lock the car. As in alirudisha tu mlango. And then he went. He didn't like close the car with the keys or stuff. Nini. So I guess let's just picture that there were people somewhere. Walikuwa na mtu ameingia na hii gari na hatujona presence ya kufunga. Sino hadi kama unafunga na zaitwa aje. Ebu subscribe as I remember that name. Inaitwa aje. But he didn't do that. So unajua obviously you would know if someone has locked like the car proper. Utaona kifunga gari. And it takes a minute as in kuna hiyo presence ya kufunga mlango kuangalia kama imefungwa ndo uende. So my dad just got out and left. You see. So these two guys somewhere, they saw that this man hasn't closed the car. So we have like a chance over here to take this car So I guess they thought that because he didn't lock the car, he left the car also inside. So they approached the car. I'm still asleep by the way. I'm just picturing that this is how it happened. But let me just tell you what happened after. So nilikwambia there were two guys. So the first one got into the driver's seat. Then the second one got into the co-driver's seat. So the mistake the second one did, he banged the door as he was closing the door. He closed the door. This first one didn't close the door. He just left it like that. I guess he was trying to look for the keys. Ama vile atafanya gari ianze kusonga. So he didn't close the door. But this second one on the co-driver's seat, he banged the door. So I felt it. Nilisikia. Hadi kama nimesema nikita siwezi, but I had that. So I was like semi-awake, you know. I was like sort of half awake, half asleep now. Alafu I guess by then is when I realized that the car wasn't moving. So I called out to my dad. Dad, kwani tumefika? That is what I remember that is what I said. I asked my dad, Dad, kwani tumefika? And then I had some murmurs and it didn't really feel like my dad's voice. As in, you know when you know your parents, when you know someone's voice, adi wakimama, adi wakifanya nini, you know that this person is someone that I know. So the voice that I had, or the voices that I had, were not familiar to me. So I sort of wanted to wake up, as in ile saa kujinua nikae vizuri and check what is happening. Then that is when I had my dad call out my name, like literally shout my name. Just sasa unajua what happened is when he came out, I don't know, there's one door that is open and he didn't leave it open. Alafu, it didn't make any sense that I would wake up and try and leave through the driver's seat na kuna mlango ingine hapa, you see. So he panicked and he called out my name. When he called out that these people had, ndo akarealize there's someone still in the car and then he is coming. Ile mbio hawa watu walitoka. I guess adiyo niliniamsha saa vizuri because I'm waking up, I'm just seeing two guys running because I was now checking from behind. I'm seeing like two guys running. I'm like, what is happening? Nini naendelea huku? Nini? Kwani? What is happening? So my dad rushed back to the car. Akaingia akaniuliza usijui what was happening, amemfanyia nini. I was like, I'm okay, I was asleep. What was supposed to happen? Me naona tu watu wakikimbia. What is happening? I'm lost. What is happening? So that is when my dad told me that he had not locked the car, and if by any chance he had left the key, yani mi sijui sahii mngekuwa mnasema Gatwiri ni nani. I don't even know if you would have known me. As in, I don't know what would have happened. I'm just saying I don't know what would have happened. But I was almost getting kidnapped. Yani gari ilikuwa ibiwe. Yani my dad was about to lose two things. His car and his daughter. It's a funny story for me because I didn't feel anything. As in, I wasn't aware of what was happening. But at some point I'm like, yo, mimi sasa ningekuwa nasema mimi ni nani sahi, as in, okay, ningekuwa najijua, yes, and maybe I would have been for, but you know, you may never know. You just don't know what would happen. So these days, actually, my dad doesn't let me sleep in the car. He always makes sure I am wide awake. He calls me his co-driver, even if I am not seated at the co-driver seat, but he still calls me his co-driver. As in, I'm supposed to notice things that he hasn't. I don't know how that is supposed to work, sielewi, but that is what he does. My dad would rather wake you up, kama ulikuwa umeanza kulala, he'd rather wake you up and tell you that he has seen a crocodile, and you just know mko kwa barabara and there's no way he has seen a crocodile. I don't know how that still works on me, but I would wake up and start looking, and I'm not even really into animals like that. So this is, he doesn't let me sleep, and he never, hadi kama tumeacha wangapi kwa hiyo gari, he never leaves kama hajaifunga. He doesn't. He doesn't leave the car not closed. Moral of the story. What is the moral of the story? Mwache kulala. Mwache kulala. Sijui mbona anasema hivi nikicheka, but mwache kulala lala. You stop oversleeping.
And 4 years later, man, 5 years later, I still sleep, and I'm here telling you not to sleep.
But yeah, that is what happened. Some kitoka kwa gari and you know we've left someone there, please lock the car before they go. The next thing you know, you might not be seeing them. Yeah, so that is the story time I had for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Yeah, it was just something small that I remembered, and I don't think I've shared this with a lot of people because unaanza kuambia je watu ulikwenda kukidnapiwa. But yeah, that is what happened, and we are still here. We didn't go anywhere. Tuko hapa. Yeah, so thank you guys for listening. Thank you for watching till this far. If you haven't subscribed yet, imagine I am still going to ask you to subscribe. Imagine Stachoka, you guys expect me to get tired of telling you to subscribe. Why will I do that? So please subscribe, please, and like. Yeah, like, subscribe, comment, do all those fancy stuff, and I will get to see you in my next video.